Hi guys, how we doing? Paul from Free Hammers here. Just been out enjoying the sun all day today, as you can probably tell. I think I'm about the same colour as that wall back there. But anyway, yeah, after sunning myself in the garden today, came in, watched our pre-season friendly against FC Slovacko. And while I was watching, just took a few notes down. And I thought I'd do, a little sort of mini review, not like our normal match reviews, just a mini match review, basically give my thoughts, let you guys know what I thought. Right, so just looking at the lineups, we started the first half with Randolph in goal, Page, Burke, Rice and Byram in defence, Noble, Obiang and Cullen in midfield, Samuelson and Faguli on the wings and Valencia up front, and then changed it around in the second half. Obviously, Randolph started the second half in goal, but he was replaced by Spiegel. Byram, Burke stayed in, Rice stayed in, he was replaced by Tony Martinez, and Antonio came in at right back. Kuyate, Obiang and Cullen. So Kuyate came in for Noble, Obiang ended up getting off for Brown. Then Keena and Torre would have winged the second half with Fletcher up front. I'm not really going to go too much into the match itself because, these are just pre-season games. They're not particularly that important. I don't think the result matters. It finished 2-2. I don't think the result really matters at all, to be honest. It's more about getting the fitness up, getting players match fit, seeing how particular players work together and trying out different systems, So rather than go into an actual review of the game itself, I took some notes down of basically the players that sort of stood out to me, and I just thought I'd give my thoughts. Right, okay, so looking at the players, looking at individual performances, I'm just going to start at the back, work my way through the team, starting with Darren Randolph, started in goal. Not a lot to do, to be honest. I don't really remember him having to make a save. There were a couple of shots that just sort of rolled to him. So yeah, not really a lot for Randolph to do. Solid enough. He was replaced by Spiegel partway through the second half. I've got to be honest, this guy worries me massively. I watched the pre-season friendly against Seattle as well, and again, I thought he was terrible in that game. He played the second half. He really, really worries me. I don't think he's anywhere near good enough to be at West Ham, to be near the first team. He conceded 2 goals in this game. He just doesn't fill me with confidence at all. I don't know. I just don't think he's good enough to be playing at that level. Thankfully, we've got Adrian and Randolph. Hopefully, Randolph stays. Yeah, because I think if we had a crisis and we had to rely on Spiegel, that would worry me. Moving into the defence, Rice and Burke played both centre-backs pretty much throughout most of the game. Midway through the second half, Rice came off when Martinez came on, and I think Kuyate dropped back into the defence. But most of the game was Rice and Burke playing as that centre-back partnership. Thought they played well. They looked good, nice and composed. And along with Oxford, I think we've got plenty of cover now at centre-back. It doesn't worry me. Even with Tompkins leaving, I'm more than happy enough to see them. Burke especially looked very composed, very assured. Seems very very confident with himself after his season on loan last season. So yeah, I think that's fine. I think we're well sorted for centre backs. Like I say, even with Tompkins gone, that might even be a good thing because it might give these younger players a chance to push through and a chance to shine in the first team. Right back, Sam Byram started the game at right back. I don't know what I think about Byram yet. I need to see more of him. He gives away a lot of fouls. He loves to dive into a challenge, which you don't want to be doing. It's one thing doing it pre-season. You don't really want to be doing that in the Premier League. You can't afford to be giving away that many free kicks in and around the box. So I don't know. He does worry me a little bit. unless we do bring in another right back, which it looks like we're not going to, we're going to be seeing Antonio at right back. And I'd say at this stage he's probably a better right back than Byram, which is weird because Byram's supposed to be a natural right back. I'll come to Antonio in a moment. But yeah, Byram, I'm not 100% convinced by it. He seems to be decent going forward. He's comfortable enough on the ball. But defensively, I don't know. I'm not sure. That could be a position we need to think about. He actually moved over to left back second half, which was interesting. We had Page played left back in the first half. Had a bit of a quiet game today. I've seen him play before and he impressed me. He really impressed me. He reminds me a lot of Cresswell, Page. He's another one. He loves to get forward on the overlap. You know, he loves to get in and try and whip crosses in. A very, very attacking fullback. But yeah, he didn't really do too much today. And like I say, Byram was moved over to left back in the second half. It's interesting to know that Byram can fill in there if needed. But, you know, I've got my worries about him at right back, let alone left back. So, you know, fingers crossed Cresswell stays fit for most of the season. I don't think Page is ready yet to be challenging for a first team spot. But definite prospect, definite one for the future. Antonio played right back second half. As usual, brilliant going forward, fantastic. Charging down that right wing. You know, it's so frustrating because you see him getting forward and you can see that's where he wants to be. He's on the edge of the box. He's doing step overs. He's doing little tricks. He's cutting the ball across. He's running at people, committing defenders. That's his game. That's where he wants to be playing. Right back. I'm not convinced. I'm still not convinced he can play right back. I mean, I want to trust that Slav knows what he's doing. I really do. And I'm sure he knows a million times more about football than I do. But I'm still not convinced by Antonio at right back. And you could say he was possibly at fault for their second goal. Not getting to the man, closing the man down quick enough. So yeah, I don't know. Still a little bit of a worry there. Moving forward into midfield. Noble was playing sort of a defensive anchoring midfielder for the first half. Yeah, typical Mark Noble performance. He looked good, calm on the ball, assured, hard-working as always, making tackles, good passing. Not much you can say about it, really. It was, like I say, it was a typical Mark Noble performance. Scored a fantastic goal. It was a really, really good goal. Cullen played the ball through to Samuelson, who picked the ball up on the left-hand side of the penalty box. It wasn't really a step over. He did sort of like a little shimmy. I don't know. I feel like he did it by accident. Otherwise, I would have said it reminded me of Di Canio. But did a little sort of shimmy with his foot and then cut the ball back for Noble. Noble smashed it into the bottom corner. Really, really good finish. That was 1-0 to West Ham. That was our first goal. So yeah, I mean, good performance from Mark. Good captain's performance. Sort of controlled the midfield there. Yeah, did well. Typical Noble performance. Moving on to the guy I just mentioned, Cullen. Fantastic. Real prospect, this kid. Really, really is. He seems to have a really good eye for a pass. Really hard working. Didn't stop running. But yeah, real good eye for a pass. Like I say, for Noble's goal, he played the lovely ball through to see Samuelson running into the box. Played Samuelson in, which led to the first goal. Yeah, I'm excited to see more from Cullen. It's going to be tough for him to break into this team. It's really difficult to see at the minute where anyone can fit into this team. I mean, we've got players like Obiang who are struggling to get game time. We've got so many good central midfielders now. I mean, obviously you've got Lanzini to play the attacking position. Excuse me, Payet as well, even though Payet mainly plays on the left. But then actually that's something I will mention. Lee mentioned that, talking to Lee. From the first half, without Lanzini or Payet at the start of the season, we might struggle for that creative spark. We haven't really got another sort of playmaking, attacking midfielder that can sit in the middle, you know, unless, say, Faguli or Torre can play in the middle. I don't know, so that'd be interesting to see. But when you come back into that more central midfield and the defensive midfield, we've got so many good players. You know, obviously you've got Noble, Kouyaté, Obiang, and then like I say, you've got the likes of Cullen pushing to get into the team. So yes, it's going to be difficult for him to break into the team, but a definite prospect. You know, apparently he's a West Ham fan as well. So you know, in the future he could be the next Mark Noble. You know, you never know. So fingers crossed for that. But yeah, it's good to see him. Talking about the other two midfielders, Kouyaté. I will say Kouyaté and Obiang together. Kouyaté and Obiang together, they were solid enough in the middle of the park, breaking up play and laying it off. Kouyaté made a couple of runs forward, but to be honest, neither of them really made too big of an impact on the game for me. So yeah, I mean, they were fine. They didn't do anything to stand out, but then they didn't do anything wrong either. So, you know, that's fine. Don't forget, it's still pre-season. So, yeah, solid enough from them too. Kouyaté, as I say, came back into defence when Page went off. Still not convinced of him as a centre-back. He has played there before for us. Obviously, played fantastically there before for us as well. But again, it's just more cover. It's another option if we need it. Onto the wingers. Samuelsson started the game at left wing. Quite a subdued performance for him, to be honest. I mean, from what we've seen of Samuelsson previously, he's a real exciting player, loves to take his man on, loves a trick, likes to get forward. I haven't really seen much of that from him in this pre-season so far. He's been much more picking the ball up, taking a touch and then laying the pass off. You know, he hasn't been as exciting as myself personally would have expected him to be. Not that there's anything wrong with that, you know, because that is a part of his game that he needs to learn as well, is when to pass it off and when to play it simple. Yeah, it didn't really make much of an impact up until the goal. Like I say, he did well, got into the box, did well to pick out Mark. Lovely finish, but really apart from that, didn't really do much else. His replacement in the second half was Carlos Quina, Portuguese lad, only 16 years old. And I'll tell you what, this guy looks a talent. Really, really impressed with him. From what I see of him today, and again, like I say, against Seattle, fantastic, real prospect. Loves to run with the ball, really good at finding space. He's got a trick in him, really direct. It just seems full of confidence. Like I say, he's only 16, so he's got that youthful sort of energy and that confidence in himself. Do you know what I mean? Real exciting player. Really looking forward to seeing more of him over the next couple of years. Because like I say, he's only 16, so you know you wouldn't expect him to be breaking into the team anytime soon. But yeah, he had a really good game today. Also made the assist for the second goal. Whipped in a lovely cross with his left foot. I'm pretty sure it was his left foot. Yeah, put in a lovely cross for the second goal. So yeah, I'm really excited to see more of him going forward. I think he's a real prospect. Really good game today. Over onto the right hand side, Feghouli started the game on the right wing. Really good half. One thing he's shown this pre-season, he's a real good crosser of the ball. Real good crosser. He really whips the crosses across. You know, if you think of what Matt Jarvis used to do, Mr. Floaty Cross, where he used to just kick balls up in the air, Feghouli's the complete opposite of that. He really whips them in with pace. You know, real good crosser of the ball. If we manage to get Carroll fit and playing, he's going to love these crosses coming in. You know, we could see a real dangerous partnership between them two. Yeah, I mean, really good crossing. Seems, again, real comfortable on the ball. He's got no problem running at players. He's got a trick in him. So, yeah, another impressive performance from Feghouli. Looking forward to seeing more of him this season. He was replaced in the second half by Torre. Didn't seem as effective as Feghouli, to be honest. In the second half, in general, we weren't as good with the ball. We were under pressure a lot more. So, you know, that would have stifled him a little bit. yeah, like I say, he didn't seem as effective, but at the same time, he didn't do anything wrong. He held the ball up well a couple of times when he was under pressure. So yeah, I mean, it's his first appearance. So again, looking forward to seeing more of him. You can't really judge him on that. Up to the strikers. Ah, dear, Enner Valencia. I mean, Enner Valencia played the first half. It's time to let him go, and I feel terrible saying that because I really like him. I really like Cohen Valencia, and he's the one player at West Ham who I really want to do well. He seems like such a nice guy. All the trouble at the minute we've got with Sakho throwing his toys out of the pram, refusing to travel, having a real strop because he wants to leave. Well, Valencia, from the sounds of things, wants to leave as well. But the attitude is completely different. He's still there, he's still training, he's still trying. See, that's the thing. Even in the first half today, he does look like he's trying. He really does. And he runs and he puts himself about, but his touch is appalling. I mean, it's terrible for a professional footballer. He can't control football. And I don't know. And when he runs with the ball, he falls over it, and his technique's shocking. It's such a shame because he's done so well internationally. Obviously, he had a great tournament in the Copa America, but it's not going to work out for him at West Ham, and it is a shame. And it honestly wouldn't surprise me to see him go to Lazio and bang in 15 goals next season. It really wouldn't, because he's got the talent in him somewhere. But it's just not happening at West Ham. He had a really good chance today. I'm pretty sure it was Faguli put a cross in to the far post, and I don't know, Valencia just sort of fell into it really. Yeah, got nothing. So didn't have a good game today, and unfortunately, it's definitely his time to move on. His replacement in the second half was Fletcher, a young lad, obviously recently signed from Manchester United. I'm really looking forward to seeing him. He's been featured a lot on the website. The club have been using him a lot in promotions, in the promotional materials recently. So that wouldn't surprise me to see him in the first team fold this year, probably in the Europa League games, cup games. But I think he's going to be involved quite a bit this year, and he looks promising. I didn't realise how tall he was. It wasn't until today seeing him. He's a real tall lad and good in the air, as he showed today with a goal. Fantastic start to his West Ham career. Lovely ball whipped in by Akina. Fletcher got to it. Great header. That was our second goal to make it 2-0. Apart from that, I mean, he held the ball up a couple of times. Didn't really have any other chances apart from that. But yeah, he looks a good prospect, and I think we'll be seeing quite a bit of him this season. The last striker to come on was Tony Martinez. I don't remember him even touching the ball, if I'm being honest with you. At that stage of the game, we were coming under more and more pressure. But yeah, he didn't really have any impact at all. Again, going back, the only other time I've seen him was against Seattle, and he looked decent in that game. He looked quite sharp. But yeah, he didn't really do anything today. Didn't really make any impact. I feel like we'll probably see more of him tomorrow. But again, he's another one bought in. He's not going to be first choice or anything. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how much we see of him this season, if we see much of him at all. But yeah, that's it. I mean, that's pretty much the whole team. The last person was Brown, who went down injured near the end of the game. Apart from that, he had a couple of nice touches. But I'll be perfectly honest, by then, we conceded 2 late goals. Poor defending, both from crosses. Yeah, I mean, Antonio could possibly... Really good header, actually. The first goal was a really good header. The second one, I think Antonio probably should have closed it and man down better. And then with Spiegel in goal, I had no confidence in him saving either of them shots. They hit the post as well, and they had a goal disallowed. So, we were under quite a lot of pressure. But going back to what I said, the result doesn't really matter. Individual performances don't really matter that much either. It's more about getting used to the systems that Slav wants to play next season, getting players match fit. You know, that's the main thing, getting players match fit. So anyway, on to tomorrow. I think we're playing Ruben Kazan. I'm pretty sure that's what we were playing tomorrow. So I'll be keeping an eye out for that one. We'll probably see some different players playing. Reed didn't play today. Adrian didn't play. So, you know, we'll probably see it mixed up a bit tomorrow. But yeah, overall, pretty good. Some real promising youngsters coming through at the club, and it's really good to see. You know, we've got a real good crop of youngsters. And yeah, I'm looking forward to see where we go with them over the next couple of years. New signings, Torre didn't really have much to do. Faguli looks like he could be a real steal. On a free transfer, he looks like it could be a fantastic signing. But yeah, that's it. That's just my quick thoughts on the game and on the players, on the individual performances. So let us know what you thought of the game. Let us know how you thought everyone got on in the comments. And give us your predictions for tomorrow as well. Depending on the game tomorrow, I might do another little review just like this, just a very short one, just giving my thoughts. As well, just to let you know, the podcast, we will be doing a podcast this week, but it's going to go out a little bit later than usual because unfortunately we're not going to all be available to film until Thursday, which means it won't go out until Friday. So the podcast will be going out, but it will be going out on Friday instead of Wednesday. As usual, make sure you tune into that. We will be announcing the competition winner with West Ham banter page for the training top. So if you haven't entered, there's still time to enter that competition. We did do a video on it. Check out the video. I'll put a link as well. But check out the video to that, how to enter. And yeah, that's it. So we will see you then. I might see you tomorrow with another little review video. If not, see you on the podcast. So, come on, you irons. Let's go.